If the biggest film of your time today is going to be Arjun Reddy, it is going to be Kabir Singh, it is going to be Animal, it is going to be Pushpa, which is showing a certain kind of, again, animalistic hero who misbehaves with the woman, who is constantly punishing people, who's angry, who's violent, who talks about what it means to be a man. And man means somebody who has a big beard, who kills people, who murders people, who says all kinds of cruel things. If you are showcasing that as masculinity and say, oh, it's just a film, it's not. When people are watching that, and it's not just one example, right? It's like they watch 5 such films because unfortunately our Bollywood producers, if they see one thing working, they're like, let's make 10 more of this. So suddenly there are 10 films with like toxic masculine men, and they're just like, this is what's going to work. And everybody's looking at those films and saying, oh, this is just a film, it's not going to affect you, but it does. Because that's the only narrative you have. Narratives and stories and media and film can either empower you, or they can, as you said very nicely, disempower you. There is, when Taylor Swift started singing, why is Taylor Swift such a global phenomenon? She is being played in the biggest, concerts and studios and shops and stores in the world, but she's also being played in the smallest villages and towns, etc., across globally. Why? Because when she sings of heartbreak, she has normalized the fact that, okay, women go through heartbreak, and you know what, it's okay. We shouldn't have to live for a man. We can live for ourselves. Haters gonna hate. There's just so many different ways of what it means to be a woman, and it has empowered other women to be like, yeah, my life is not only for a man. And sometimes I can fall in love, and sometimes I can fall out of love. And sometimes there can be a man who's not done right to me, and sometimes there can be a man who I really like, and that's okay. Everything is okay. Being a woman is all of these experiences, and that's okay. So she's an icon because she speaks the truth of what women go through, and women need that truth. And when they find it, they embrace her. On the other hand, the only truth that we are putting out to men in this world is that men are angry, that men are pissed, that men are treating women wrong. And so other young boys who are growing up right now, seeing all of these narratives, will start believing that this is what it is. And hence I keep coming back to, we need alternates. And we need people to be brave and courageous enough to create those alternates. We need more Shah Rukh Khan. We need more men to kind of be like, hey, you know what? I'm going to lean into my soft, sensitive, vulnerable side of my life without only talking about the toxic, angry, etc., because there can be all kinds of masculinity. And every kind of a man is still a man. You just don't need to be one kind of alpha man to be seen as a man. You could be a sweet, sensitive, kind man. You could be, having this gentle podcast studio and be wearing a kurta, and you're no less a man than that guy who is, screaming on the top of his voice and, carrying a machine gun to kill people.